What is good? How are you doing today? As always, I am Green Viper, and welcome back to the Twitch channel. I know it's been a hot minute. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes these sort of things happen, you know. But anyway, I am glad to be back. I'm just trying to find where my microphone is. There it is. Perfect. So, you know, you actually get some nice visualization on the screen. Yeah, like I say, sorry about the lack of streams as of recently. Been a whole bunch of factors, again, which have kind of screwed me around. Still not really been in work as of recent, but I have started getting back. I've started travelling a bit more, started getting myself out there. New medication yet again. That's a nice little complaint that everyone loves on this Twitch.tv channel. But yes, more new medications. That's been fun. Adjusting to all that and just generally adjusting to the lack of energy and motivation and drive and everything that comes with the condition I find myself with. So, you know, as a result, there's not been too much Twitch activity. You know, there's not been much activity from me outside of Twitch either. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about the lack of communication. That doesn't mean I'm going to be back permanently to this Twitch thing, but, you know, every now and then would be cool, at least for the moment, until I feel I'm back up to full strength. It's just been nice to kind of chill out on my evenings off, on my days off, etc. You know, just sit quietly and not have to think about entertaining. Just, you know, being able to play games for the sake of playing games and not to do it to, you know, make people laugh and all that sort of stuff. So that's why I've been absent. I hope you all can understand. But we are back with a brand new live stream here on the Twitch channel. Maybe even on my YouTube if you're lucky enough. If this stream goes well enough, we might find ourselves exporting it, because we've got some science for you here today on the Green Viper 8 Twitch channel, believe it or not. So, yesterday on Xbox's 20th anniversary, they revealed a brand new set of backwards compatible games, and they are awesome. I've been enjoying them a lot. But you know what else they revealed? They revealed FPS boosts for 3 Sonic titles, and you know, Sega stuff's kind of our jam on this channel, and well, how could I avoid the opportunity to play a 60 FPS Sonic Unleashed after 13 years of being stuck at 30 FPS and lower on the Xbox 360. If you played it on PS3, it was technically an uncapped frame rate, so it could hit 60 FPS. There's only one stage that it's known to hit 60 FPS on, and that would be none other than, oh god, what's it called? It's Cool Edge Night. Halaska Night is the only stage which can consistently hit 60 FPS on the PS3 version. Every other stage dips lower than it does on the 360. That's due to the PS3 being a bit difficult to develop for and that sort of thing, but I also believe they did bump the resolution up to 1080p, but I could be wrong on that one. So as a result, the PS3 version is known to be a poorly running version of the game, but it's still very playable. But the caveat of the 360 version is it's capped at 30 FPS, and that does make it far more playable, and the result of the 360 being easy to develop for, therefore that also makes it a bit more playable. But, you know, for the most part, it's still not the ideal way to play the game. So, about a year ago now, let's go a little bit further back in the story. About 3 years ago now, in 2018, in November 2018, Sonic Unleashed was added to the Xbox One backwards compatibility scheme. It was the very last game on there, 10 years after it came out. Oh, it was the last game with the rest of the batch. In terms of Sega stuff, I believe there was Alien vs Predator. I think there were a couple of COD games. I can't remember which ones, but it was some of the ones that people were asking for ages. And that was it. And then they said, we're doing no more backwards compatibility. That's it. That's your lot. No more. Or at least in terms of Xbox 360 and original Xbox games, because as the next part of the story goes, then in 2020, the Xbox Series X came out. You know, we all know that one, right? If we're in the gaming sphere, you probably remember that. And it's backwards compatible with all the games the Xbox One could play, minus the Kinect games. So what that means is, of course, by default, Sonic Unleashed backwards compatible. Still capped in that 30 FPS though, but for the first time ever, it hit a stable 30 FPS. And thanks to the SSD in the console, it could now also have significantly less lag when loading in textures, loading in stage collision, all that sort of stuff. So a lot of the time, even though the game was capped at 30 FPS on the 360, it still got nowhere near it. But, you know, it was slightly better than the PS3 build in that sense. So, yeah, that dropped, and you know, it was perfect. The load times were so low, and sometimes there was like sections where you could switch instantly back and forth between the Werehog and Sonic, and that was really slow in the original. It was like less than a second in this new version. It was incredible to witness. But as a result of all that, it still wasn't 60 FPS. Then Microsoft announced an FPS boost feature for old backwards compatible games. Sonic Unleashed isn't on the list. The only thing of worth for our Sega eyes is Yakuza 6 was on the list, and it got bumped from 30 to 60 if you're playing on an Xbox Series X. Now then, that brings us to today. Microsoft announced the brand new FPS boost titles for backwards compatibility, or this was yesterday, but you know what I mean. Today, present day. And Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Generations, and Sonic Transformed are all on the list. 60 FPS is possible. We thought it would happen on PC first. You know, we thought either there'd be a PC port or fans would get to emulation on Xenia or RPC S3 quicker. No. Officially, thanks to Microsoft, we got the game running at a capped, locked 60 FPS for the first time ever on the official Xbox 360 build. Well, let's see how it compares and contrasts, shall we? I've done enough talking. I have 3 consoles next to me because people wanted to know what the differences were, what the FPS changes were, that sort of thing, if there was any difference between the Series S and Series X. This is VIPER Foundry, and I've got for you an Xbox Series X, an Xbox Series S, but to kick things off, I've got for you an Xbox 360 right here. And we're going to start things off by checking out the old version, seeing just exactly how it all runs. It's a little loud. Let me turn that down for you all. Let me know how the audio balance is as the stream goes on, as always. I'll put it down around there. Right, I'm going to go on my cloud save, because my cloud save is the most up-to-date version. Yeah, I know, I'm punny. I do like my puns. So, this is on an actual Xbox 360. No emulation, no trickery. I've got a real 360 OEM controller in hand. The real Elite console, which I got in 2010. Which is the first way I experienced this game. So, let's go ahead and kick things off. For starters, here on this little hardboard screen, if you know what you're looking for, you can see this is 30 FPS. You can kind of see the lag and how the frames move. Yeah, it's 30. Let's start off with a day stage. A day stage everyone has played. Windmill Isle Act 2. And hey, what's going on, Rav, as well? And I should say hi to everyone. Hey, what's going on, K-Dog, Base Callum, anyone who's lurking or watching on the stream replay, hello to you as well, and anyone who joins in the future who I don't get to. Right, here you go. We've got the 360 build running right here. So you can see the screen is really smeary at points when you boost in. Very low fidelity. And yeah, I mean, you can see how choppy it's running, right? This isn't the best place to, I don't know, show you just how different these two versions are. But, like I say, it's a stage everyone knows. So, I'll get it out of the way. I mean, you can see just how badly that tanked there. All of the collision, all the objects it's got to render, that you're smashing all over the place. They've all got physics, right? So, you know, it's all stuff the game and therefore the CPU and GPU have to calculate, right? You can see it struggling a little bit here as well with all the rocks. Where this game struggles most is the foliage. We'll see some foliage in a little bit. That's a stage we all know and all want to test, so I'll get to that in a bit. Oh, goodness, it's so weird to be playing this at 30 again. I mean, it's familiar, it's nostalgic in a way, but, you know, not the optimal experience. Yeah, the main place where it struggles is when there's trees on the screen, when there's a lot of objects with different physics engines that it has to, you know, mesh between. I can't remember if it uses the Havoc physics engine or not, but that doesn't matter too much. You get the point. You know what you're looking for. Hand injuries healed and just in time for college this week. That's what we like to hear. Good stuff. I've not got a hand injury. Also, yay. Nice. I haven't got a hand injury, but I must have got like a bite or something on my hand, because it is like swelling and going red, and it's so itchy, it's not pleasant right about now. I'm having to really stop myself itching it, but, you know, I've broken arms and stuff before, I can relate to that, Callum. But glad to hear everyone's doing good today, that's what we like to hear. Like I say, I started going back to work on Monday, so that was quite an experience. I had sick time off that I had, so for the last 2 weeks or so again. But finally made my way back, starting to do full days ever so surely. It's feeling good to get back into the swing of things. I'm hoping to, like I say, get back into streaming and stuff as well. So it's been a little bit of a slow burn, but I'm back here on Twitch again anyway. That's what you need to hear. At this current moment in time. If I wasn't, you'd be a bit concerned, I guess. A's looking a little sus, but we got an A. Still got my skills at that stage. I've played the... What is it? I played the Xbox 360 Win Malal demo like hundreds and hundreds of times when I got my console back in 2010. So I just know where all those medals are. I know where I need to go in terms of the stage. How to get through it quickly. It's muscle memory. Anyway, so let's go to the big stages that people always want to see. Let's start with Empire City Night. Empire City Night, specifically the hub, is renowned for being infamous because it's got another feature the game struggles to render. Yeah. Oh boy. Look at your frames. They aren't good. And then we get to the water. You can see it's having problems with the flying water already. PowerPoint slideshow. It's not great. It's really not good. Oh man. Right, let's get out the water. So as you can see, it picks up a little bit once we get out. If you're looking... I should say as well, if you're not watching the stream at 60 FPS, set your quality settings to it if it lets you. I'd highly recommend it. But yes, this game really struggles with this. And if we wait until day, I mean, you can see even the pause menu. If you like, I don't know, you won't be able to hear me clicking it, but you can feel maybe there's a little bit of lag going on there. Right, let's go back to the day version. Day version's nowhere near as bad. But, once again, just to get more points of comparison that we can work with here. Yeah, FPS is definitely a little bit higher, but, I mean, as you can see over there, lots of foliage. We've got lots of water going on here, and physics it's got to render, and all that sort of stuff. Right, once the water's off screen, you can see the FPS is a little bit smoother than it was there, even. Then when it's back on screen, it goes all over the place. I guess a key point of contention is look at how long the blur stays behind Sonic. That's a good way of telling when it's getting a little bit heavy. I honestly don't know, Callum. I think it's probably the addition of the Werehog's fur effects, maybe? Might just be what sets it over the edge. Oh, that sucks, K-Dog. Hopefully you find some sort of way around it. Maybe some sort of like mobile service for the meantime, but... Yeah, sorry to hear that you're having a bit of a rough time with it in terms of your ISP. Hopefully they get their act together a little bit sooner. Let's see. Okay, this is actually static. You can't interact with this, so we can't cause things to get even worse. But anyway, there you go. Yes, when people say they can't see the performance issues with this game on 360, that's normally, when I point that out, where that argument kind of falls apart. Right there, it's really obvious what the problem is. But anyway, I didn't mean to go there. I meant to go back out to the map screen. Now, I know it's a stage everyone's going to want to see. Once again, note the lag on the menu. It's actually not too bad, but occasionally I will press down and it just won't respond to me for like a second or so. It is quite annoying. But, going back here. Let's go to everyone's favourite stage, Adabat. And the reason it's everyone's favourite stage is because we're about to see more PowerPoint slideshow. Also, by the way, if there are any stages that people want to see on any version of the game down in chat, please do let me know. I'm probably going to spend the most time, understandably, with the best version, but if there's anything you want to see, therefore we can provide direct comparisons between, then please do let me know. But already starting off here, oh dear, a little bit sluggish, but not too bad. But you can definitely see when we hit those boxes, game's struggling. Game do be struggling. All these guys as well, and all the ripple effects on the water, causing a few problems. That face when you appear on my Twitch stream, you know it's going to be a good one. I tell myself that as well. It's just a confidence booster at this point, I swear. You're appearing on your own Twitch channel. Your life's going up. Oh dear. This is also a bit of a tricky stage. You're going to have to excuse me dying at a few points. I mean, you can see what maybe the challenge is here. Especially when you've got a microphone arm in the way that appears to be getting in the way of where all the objects are. let me sit a bit upright. Right. You can already tell the problem here. I mean, you can see the hitches and stutters in real time as the game loads in. Especially if you look on the horizon, you can see the game loading stuff in. Like those, I don't know what you'd call them, the... They're not guillotines, but you know what I mean. They're popping in and out. As this stuff behind us, stuff pops out very fast. It doesn't stay loaded in for long. You can see what the problems are. Rocks, trees, foliage, they're all taking up GPU space. Here is an infamous section, because I mean, look at the number of trees. Oh dear! Yeah, this isn't great, is it? Oh god. Alright, and yeah, this is also another famous one. Look at the pauses when stuff loads in. It do be portable though. Oh dear. Right, so, I did that section normally. Once again, to compare and contrast, when people speedrun this game, they do a lot of crazy drifting on the water. That creates a lot more particle effects, so as you can imagine that makes it worse. Let's try the same thing. Yeah. Who dare? Oh my goodness. Incredible. So the FPS was so bad I couldn't even control him properly, so I'm going all over the place. I might be able to redeem myself once we get onto some better consoles. Oh, you know, better consoles for this game. The 360 is a fantastic console, of course. No disrespect to it. You can see, even when we're not doing all the crazy drifting, it is still struggling a hell of a lot, but nowhere near as much. I fall for that every time. Alright. Some of these pillars are being quite nice and not falling on me. Am I just going too fast? At least I've got plenty of time to react though. That is one positive I will give this version. There we go. Right, made it through. Out of the pan and into the fryer. It's another tree section. As you can see, the camera pans away, so they can control a little bit more of what you can see, so it doesn't go too bad as the last... Oh, it doesn't go as badly as the last chase section did. But, still not what I would consider Kino content, you know? And now, more dense foliage. The world truly wasn't ready for this game, was it? More water effects! And now, here we return. Alright, I'm gonna be a cheat. I'm just gonna pause. If you didn't know, you can do the skate round quick time events. If you've ever struggled with them in this game, then you're welcome. Oh goodness. There we go, more drops. Water and foliage, wow, combining the two into one. Oh man. That don't look too sharp. Yeah, really struggling again. But you're kind of getting the idea here, right? This is what you can expect on the console this game was released for. This is the performance as it came out on day one, so you can understand why some people maybe weren't too happy with how this game ran. Like, it's fine, it's definitely still playable, but I mean, like, even 06, you know, for as 06 as 06 was, it mostly held its FPS on a brand new console generation. So, considering it came out, like, what, the year after the 360 came out, that's kind of commendable. That's like the one thing you can commend it for, but, you know, it's fine. This section's, from what I recall, it's mostly fine. Yeah, a little choppy, but, you know, there's a reason that this bit isn't as infamous as everything before it. I appear to be dead. Yes, everything's so pixelated. Good old 720p up-res to 1080p quite poorly. That's what the 360 did. And you know, that was to improve FPS, and yet here we are on a game released in 2008, in the first half of this console's life cycle. Incredible. As I alluded to, man was truly not ready for the Hedgehog engine that year. It still wasn't even ready for it in 2011 with Generations. He had to massively tone it down with all the fancy effects and Sonic Generations, and it still can't hold 30 FPS on console. We were truly robbed of a great experience back in the day. At least Gens has the PC port. You know, this game wasn't as lucky. This was the best you got for however many years it's been now. 13, right? Yeah, 13. Anyway, we're at the end. I got thoroughly jungle joyrided there, but you see what the point is. Right, any other areas, any other stages, any other anything people want me to play while I'm on the 360? Because if not, I will move on to the next machine. Although, is there anything I still want to play on here? Anything that would be good to compare and contrast? Oh yeah, let's play a night stage. I have a full save file, so this shouldn't be too boring, but let's just play Windmill Isle Night, because it's the quickest. That would be a smart idea, you know, that's kind of half of what this game is. Over half, because the stages are long. But yeah, let's play a night stage. In my opinion, the night stages are actually where you see the most difference. Like, you can... I think as in the Sonic stages, you have your eyes on such, like, a small area in comparison to the night stages. I think it's a bit more difficult to notice just how incredibly smooth they are in comparison. So, it's just as well I got out a night stage to compare and contrast, because it is the perfect thing. Words. Too busy concentrating on this intense brawler gameplay, man. See, we're playing on a complete save as well, so that means we also don't have to go out of the way for any of the medals, so it's perfect. Is the... No? Do I just break through this door? Yes. Wish I knew that earlier. One of them I have to find a switch, because I played the stage last night, so I recall what to do. There we go. Perfectly balanced as all things should be at long last, King. Also, I can't remember if I said, but hey, what's up, King? How are you doing today? My brain no worky. Full day of work plus werehog equals no. The brain cells go out the window when playing this intense mode. Yakuza got nothing on... Yakuza Streets of Rage, all combined, got nothing on this sick character right here. No, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. The true alpha way to climb a pole. Just jump up it. Why not? Definitely not God of War inspired gameplay as well. Right there. Mashing the B button. Oh man, don't you love before God of War became a well-respected game franchise? Don't you miss those days? I mean, technically it was well-respected, but people don't seem to look back on it with the fondest of opinions. And whenever I do hear people look back on it, it's compared to this now, so I can't help but feel that they shot themselves in the foot a bit there, but hey, there we go. Can't believe we're actually nearly about to have some platforming as well. Incredible. Sonic game with platforming. Who could have predicted it? Now, I meant to do some very precarious tightrope walk in here, but because I have a fully upgraded werewolf, I can just die. That's not what I intended to do! Oh, God. I have so many combos. There we go. That's what I meant to do the first time. Done like a boss. I know, Callum, it's incredible. Believe it or not, people actually want to play as the character on the game's box. Although, to be fair, when this came out, I was pretty hyped for the werewolf. I was at the right age where this sort of thing was still interesting, you know? Before I became cynical and realised, oh god, how awful this is. It's not too bad. I make it out to be a lot worse than it is. That's because I've spent so long playing as an underpowered werewolf. Oh my god. The frame rate. So as you can see, the main areas of contention in the werewolf stages anyway are pretty much two things. Destructible environments, and when they just completely load the enemies up on screen. Like right there, when it became a slideshow. I don't know if it's showing up as well on stream as it is on my end, because it does seem like on the gameplay capture at least, a bit smoother. I don't know if I've got my settings set weirdly. I could have a look into that when we're switching consoles, but it definitely looks far choppier on my actual screen. And I'm seeing for you guys right now. Although I am getting like a direct video out, whereas you're getting one processed through a capture card, so maybe that's the reasoning, but still. Callum, 10 minutes is not generous enough. It's far more than 10 minutes. Every stage is like 40-50 minutes on your first playthrough. On repeats, yeah, it goes down a bit, but it's still like 20-30 minutes for most stages. It's disgusting. This character. I do love this game, despite all the bashing. Just, you know, I've had a long time to tolerate it, and therefore a long time to get bored of some of its more dull bits. Night has never looked so dark. That is true. That do be a dark night though. What a great insightful piece of commentary. Yes, that sky does in fact appear to be quite dark. Who could have guessed it? We're playing as, you know, a werewolf character, so I don't know. Also, as many people have pointed out with the name, I'm surprised it doesn't get pointed out enough. He's called the werehog. Where is the part of werewolf that meant man? So he's a man-hog. Nice naming convention there. I know it made more sense than, like, whatever it would be. Hedgewolf or something. I'm sure that's a thing in, like, DeviantArt circles. I don't want to know. But, you know, it's a bit of a silly name when you think about it. I did it in 5 minutes and only got a B rank. Game is a bit stingy sometimes. There we go. Good old Sonic Unleashed on the 360. I'll do one last check to see if there's any levels I do want to show off for you. Is there anything that's like notoriously slow? No, but there is something that's notoriously fast. Let's just do a quick little bit of Holoska Knight. I don't want to play it for too long. Oh god, it is probably also a thing in DeviantArt circles, isn't it, Callum? Dear God. No! Away with ye. Yes, I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but this is very clearly a touch more stable than what we were just playing just now. For me, at least. We'll just get a little bit further into the stage so I can prove that point, but I don't think it needs too much proving. Oh man, ice physics in my brawler. Great. I forgot all about them. Oh, God. Oh, he's slipping and sliding. Uh-oh. Okay, good. The song is a bit of a banger. Not as much as the Hub World theme, and it's unfortunate we don't get to hear much of it. But it's whatever, you know. Got slat around the chops just there. Bodied. Oh, cutscene happened off screen. I couldn't see it. Great. Oh, goodness. Do I have to run here to get up here? I assume so, right? But anyway, the point I'm trying to get at here is this stage is by far the most stable in both the 360 and the PS3 versions. In PS3, this hits 60 FPS most of the time. In Xbox 360, as it's capped, it hits 30 most of the time. It does pretty well on both machines. You can see I'm running round, it's not skipping, there's not too much blur following Sonic or pausing behind him. It's pretty good. It's manageable. I don't know why it's so good. Oh, if I had to... Yes, that's why. That water looks to be a static texture. That doesn't look to be rippling like it does in Jungle Joyride or any of the other stages. There's no trees around whatsoever. It's literally just a skybox. Seemingly a texture for the water. Whatever ground textures they got going on. And not an awful lot else. As well, if you look at the snow, there's not an awful lot of polygons in it. In comparison to certain other stages. So that's probably the reason for why this runs so well. But anyway, it does. That's what you need to know. We can exit the stage, because I am playing the entire thing of this. Screw that. I respect my time more than that. Right, anyway. That's your lot. Sonic Unleashed for the Xbox 360. I'm going to go back out to the main menu. Just so I can turn the machine off. Although, to be fair, I could have done that without backing out to the main menu. But mainly, I just wanted to show you that I have the same theme across 3 different Xbox generations. Shoutouts to Horizon 360 for making that possible. And for allowing me to upload a complete save file to the Xbox Series X. That's much appreciated, so I didn't have to go back and unlock everything and level up my werehog again. And grind for like 20 hours to do so, like I did on the PS3 version. That's besides the point. I'm not mad about it or anything. Right, give me a sec. I'm just going to reach below my desk and plug in next console, which will be none other than the Xbox Series S. And as you can see here, we're going to turn the FPS boost feature off. So, give me a moment. 1 second. Don't count on me or anything. This might take a while. I've got to still align the HDMI lead somehow, so it could take time. There we go. Also, the Elgato gets a bit funny occasionally, every now and then, with switching resolutions, but it actually seems to have done that just fine, which is bizarre. But hey-ho. Here we are over on the Series S, brand new, set up just yesterday. It's not gonna be mutually exclusively mine, it's not staying at my house, so I thought I would relish in the opportunity while it's still in my care to use it for scientific purposes. So, here we go, Sonic Unleashed on the Xbox 360, but not, because this is on the Xbox Series S. Also, I just realised, let's refresh Elgato, because there we go. I could see it on my screen, but you guys couldn't see it on yours. Good old Elgato pass-through. Right. Yeah, I've set up nothing on this machine. I'm pretty sure it's going to try and download some stuff, so let me actually just cancel that ahead of time. Yes, there we go. We got some classics installing right here. Some bangers, so to say. We've got all the DLC installed anyway, that's what you need to know. Right, so with that in mind, I've really not set anything up on this to the point where I don't even have the same theme across both consoles. But anyway, Sonic Unleashed. Oh no, not Sonic Unleashed. I have FPS boost turned on. I instead need to go into here, compatibility options, and turn it off. There we go. So, this is the state the game launched in on Xbox Series S and X last year. So that means no 60 FPS patches, but it's going to hit a solid 30. I wish I had some sort of frame rate counter or anything to prove this to you, but it's going to do it. So it is taking a while to load up, so we'll give it time. Some sweet time. Let me just check. Yeah, the video is actually at 60. Okay, I just wanted to double check. And therefore, the capture card should also be at 60, so we should be able to see the differences between the two here. When it wants to load, oh my goodness. Is it just frozen? I think it's just frozen. Great! Good stuff! Oh no, it's not opening at all! Oh, God. Xbox consoles, they have a habit of doing this every now and then. Oh man, Microsoft after the 360. What were you doing? I mean, for as great as the Series S and X are, they're still built on the codebase of the Xbox One, which, you know, not the greatest of things, was it? Let's be honest. Alright, I last played it on another Xbox, so please download a different save. Right. It likes to freeze on this screen when it's being emulated on backwards compatibility mode. I don't know why. Right, so let's get a little move around on the map so you can get a feel of what that looks like. This is like one of those things where you just really need to play the game for yourself as well, because you get a feel for it. You can feel the differences in like timing, and it feels more responsive, etc. when you play it. So, you know, if you're not seeing the differences too much, don't worry. If you ever get a chance to, you will feel the difference. But I'm mainly doing this since certain individuals wanted me to find out what the differences were between all three versions. So I did just that. And mainly as well, my Twitter's been exploding. Like, I just posted a game capture off of you know, my Xbox One DVR, and it got like 1,500 likes. So there's a demand for people to know what the differences are. So I'm going to do just that, and then I will post the scientific results on various different platforms to let people know what they are. So that's why I'm here. For those of you who are wondering, why the insanity? Why comparing? Why have you plugged in 3 different consoles at once? Is everything going to explode? No. Am I a little bit mad for doing it? Maybe. Right. Let's begin where we began last time. Let's go on over to Aptos. I'm not going to spend too much time with this version, because this is pretty much, for the most part, identical. Minus some few key areas. So I'm not going to do like full stage runs or anything like that. We're just gonna chill. Yeah, do whatever it is we want to do, etc. So we didn't play the stage last time around, so maybe not the best comparison, but let's see if we can get some of the flame enemies on screen, actually. Scream? On screen. Can you, like, shoot some fire at me or something? Hello? Oh, do these ones not shoot fire? Is that only in the DLC? Are they just red for no real reason? So there you go. Quick stage, just to show things off. Cool. So there's a couple different sections I want to show you here, which were key improvements at the time. So let's kick things off by going to everyone's favourite hub world, Empire City. Empire City is like the slightest bit improved. You might already be able to see the difference here. If you can't, that's fair enough, but if you can, just controlling Sonic, he's doing full circles in reaction to what I'm doing. It's much nicer. Let's jump into the water. Yeah, it's no longer a slideshow. It's not perfect, but it's no longer a slideshow. It can cope with this, and let's run to prove it. looks and runs smoothly. It's still locked 30, but it's still good. There's a demand for people to know my opinions on Sonic Unleashed. I love Sonic Unleashed, so maybe I'm in the minority on that one there. But I really do adore this game, so that's why I was just so hyped. If you saw my Twitter yesterday, I was popping off. This game got a 60 FPS patch, finally. Like I say, it's the game that's always been hidden in there. We just weren't ready for it yet. Xbox 360 just wasn't ready. It took 2 console generations to get the true experience, but we got it now, finally. Anyway, same deal pretty much here in the day version. Look, as you can see, no longer a slideshow. We're all good. Now then, if we go ahead and move on over into And About Yet Again, I'm sure you already know what stage it is we're going to test. Yep.
Here we...
This one. Much better. Miles better even. But this wasn't the area we were struggling with the most, so of course let's get to those two momentarily. I do love this stage, for as brutal as it is. That's kind of the charm of it, right? I mean, it's not too bad, but certainly a step up over some of the other levels available earlier on in the game. It's just memorization. That's all Sonic Unleashed level design is. That's why I've always been a little bit harsher on it than some people are. Like, especially the, you know, non-main acts, which you can go back to get extra medals. Yeah, they're far too trial and error, but these main stages as well, there's a lot of sections where you need to know what's coming up, otherwise you get sent to your death, or you get sent into like the Eggman springs, or you get sent into some spikes. There's just like too many places that you need to know off by heart, which once you know it off by heart, that's fine, but before then it's a little bit Alright, so here it is at 30 FPS. Now, the fire coming on screen was what really caused the problems last time. Look at that. Like, even if you can't see FPS in the eye, you can see, like, there's less stutters, there's less freezing, there's less lag in general. So much more pleasant. Now then, water. Let's start off with a basic run. So, you know, run through this a little bit faster than expected, but how Sonic Team intended you to run through it. Yes. Yes, far better. Far, far better. Look, barely any freezing when those objects had to crash and load and all that sort of stuff. Great. Alright, now let's do it the speedrunner's way. Let's do all the crazy drifting on the water, which, as you know, ups the particle effects and makes things even worse. Alright, as unintended. That was not intended this time. Way, way better, I'm sure you can agree. That's all I'm going to play into that stage, because they're the main two choke points, which everyone loves to comment on. Slideshow in the original, and a look at them here. Well then, next up, I did want to do a night stage, so we'll do Aptos yet again, just a little bit of it. Let's just try and speed our way through and get to an area with a lot of enemies. A night stage? No, then I'd be playing the final boss. The final boss is a Knight's Tribute, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. You can literally paraloop him! It's a Knight's Tribute, people, come on! fans will come round to how superior Knights is one day. One day. Today is not that day. Right. I think it's through this door, right? Is the one with tons of enemies? There's quite a few here. Yeah, you can see there's a lot. FPS, not budget ones. Callum, that pains me. Admittedly, that's how I first knew of it, but that pains me. And admittedly, I also didn't like Knights at first, but it still pains me. Fake fan. I feel like most people are like that with Knights, though. They don't understand it when they start it, and then they get it. Once again, also not budging. But the next section, I'm pretty sure, is the one which we noticed went down the worst. So, let's get into that. I didn't even know what was through this door. Is it like a meadow? It is a meadow. That's Pog. At least you got it. I didn't get it until like repeat playthroughs, and then it just suddenly clicked. I was like, oh, I love this game now. Once again, absolutely no problems whatsoever. Right, I'm gonna go to another one now. I am going to go back to another old horn. I am going to go to Holoska at night. This one, once again, we should expect to see absolutely rock solid performance, considering that was the case on the original console. We've already listed why this should have rock solid performance, but you're about to see that for yourself. He be smashing. Can I make this jump? Sick. Let's go. Can't make it over a basic jump in the first night stage of the game, but I can do that. Incredible. Still not budging. You get the point. Right, one more that I wanted to test that I wish I'd tested on 360. I don't know why I didn't. I just wasn't thinking. Eggman Land. Yeah, I'm not doing the entire thing, obviously, but Eggman Land. I do actually quite like this stage, though. I'm not entirely opposed to this. I know it's too long, but I mean, it's a gauntlet for the end of the game. Just rack up on lives and you'll be fine. There's a you know, an infinite lives thing in what'd you call it? An infinite lives thing in the rooftop run hub world in the day. Just do that. You get like 4 lives every single time you go there, so not bad. But that's how I always got 99 lives when I was playing it on my own, in a casual sense. And that way then, that made this stage far more tolerable once you know there's an infinite lives sort of thing. Yeah, look up a guide for it, Callum. Basically, you just collect all the rings and follow a certain path, and you can get like 3-4 lives in one go through. Then you just load in and out of the hub, and you do it again, and again, and again, and again. And yeah, you can rack up 99 lives, which make, like I say, far more tolerable Eggman Land that way. I've always done that since I first beat this game for the first time, so as a result, I don't know, I've never had too much of a bad time, because if I did, then I've still got like, oh no, I died, I've got 78 lives remaining, oh no, I might run out. No, learning that was what allowed me to actually enjoy this stage. And then, you know, in subsequent playthroughs got a little bit better at it, but that's how games work, right, you know? You get better as you go along, the more you play stuff, and that's what I do with Sonic games. It's how I've got to where I am now in some instances. Enjoy the stage. It's not too bad. Enjoying video games? There's one section as the Werehog, which we'll come up to, I think, that sucks. Also, right, this is the section. Here we go. On 360, this is a solid 5 to 10 second load. And the game just pauses in place. It pauses while it loads the Werehog character model. We're done. That's it. Look, I'm holding the stick down, so I'm moving as soon as I can in both instances here. This is unpatched, not the 60 FPS patch that just came out yesterday. This was how it launched on Series X. And Series S, because, you know, we're playing on a Series S. Like, look at how instant that is. I might even have to load up the 360 just to show you this on 360 as a point of comparison. But I cannot drill. I cannot drill in how quickly this loads. The 360 is firing up, so we'll do it in a second. This is all I wanted to show you in Eggman Land. These transitions are infamously just, you know, stop, start, wait, stop, start, wait. It's just, yeah. In both versions, both the PS3 and 360, they both have this problem. In fact, I think in PS3 you actually have to watch a cutscene here instead, so I think the 360 is actually an improvement here. But yeah, once again, bam. Bam. I'm off. Right, well, that's how it runs at 30 FPS, unpatched. Let's go back to the 360 for a sec. Just to show you what's going on there in comparison, because I did forget to show that. So we'll go back. One memento. I'm just leaning under the desk yet again. The crackling as I'm trying to plug the HDMI lead in. That isn't the right way round. Why is it just... There we go. The shed's never seen this much action in one night, nor will it ever again, because it's not going to last too much longer after today. The shed's nearing the end of its life cycle. Probably within the week or so, I won't be in it anymore. So the shed is... It's fallen apart. It got moved sometime when I was away, so as a result, it's now just on some wooden slabs, and it just leans really far forward. The point where if I stand up, the door opens. So it's on its last legs, bless it. But it's had a good life. But, you know, we're about to get a fit for purpose room soon enough. There will be a shed tour, I can guarantee you. Also, can we take a moment to appreciate how slow the Xbox 360 is in 2021? Oh my god, it finally loaded. Now look at how long it's going to take to get the dashboard up. This is why I prepared the 360 part of the stream ahead of time. It's why I had the game ready to go before I kickstarted the game. Or, the stream, sorry. Tennis. Yeah, Tennis is still in there, because it's like the only 360 game I still use on disc at this point. That's a lie. If I do use it on disc, I use it in the Series X, because most stuff I play is backwards compatible. Minus Tennis and Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, but I have that digital, so... Tennis isn't digital, so it just kind of sits in my disk drive. Yes. I do want to allow cloud saves, please. It doesn't matter too much that I'm losing progress, because the progress is still a 100% complete save file in this instance, so it's not too bad. Oh, I take it back. The 360 version actually froze there. That isn't just a mutually exclusive thing to the emulated version. It just froze on me. Right, Eggman Land. Back we go. There ain't much on there of worth, Callum, to be honest with you. I know, right? What's up, Supersonic Swag? How are you doing today? Honestly, this is the biggest Microsoft W in like 10 plus years. Microsoft have outdone themselves here this time. We gotta celebrate the W. Oh man, the game chugged a little bit there when I destroyed all those enemies. We had to go live on my Twitch channel, which is a rarity to celebrate this Microsoft W. I mean, it does involve the 360. That is kind of true, Callum, but still. Slow. Ooh. Oh, man. Once again, a clear difference on display between the unpatched Xbox Series X version and the Xbox 360. Wait until we get that 60 FPS patch on, then you'll see an even bigger difference. But yeah, I hope you've been enjoying your playthrough. I assume you've been playing through, right, and not just constantly replaying stages like I have, Supersonic Swag. But even if you've been doing just that, you know, glad that you're enjoying the Sonic Unleashed. I've been playing a combo of this and... oh, whoops. I've been playing a combo of this and Sonic Generations because the PC version of Sonic Generations is aging very poorly. It has a lot of issues now, so to be able to play a 4K 60 version of Sonic Generations that doesn't have said problems is actually very appreciated. So I've been enjoying that a lot on console too. That version is pretty much on par with PC now, so that is what we love to hear, right? Like, for example, the PC is starting to have problems with RTX cards, so a lot of mods just crash with RTX cards, which is fun. There's also a problem with the DirectX version used. They use DirectX 9, whereas if they used something like 9X, a lot of the stutters and hitches in Chemical Plant would have been fixed, for example. That's a problem, which the PC version still has without mods. The PC version is starting to have a problem with controllers without mods, to where it will just disconnect mid-stage and it effectively soft locks the game. There's nothing you can do to reconnect it. Sonic will just stop moving and that's it. Gotta restart the game. Once again, gotta mod it to fix that. A lot of problems that if you don't have any interest in modding and don't want to fix it, just unplayable as a result. It's kind of strange that they've left it in that state, but hey-ho. Anyway, right, you can see how slow Sonic's moving around here, etc. Look at his shadow, look at the blur and how long it's staying behind him. That's a good accurate representation of frame time and FPS. Let's look at this. There we go. He's switched, but it's still a little bit lag after he switched. It's still trying to get to grips with it. So once again, when I did it on Xbox Series S, I held down all the time. I'm doing that here. It took me a little less than a second on Series S. It might have been half a second. Right, here's the comparison once again on 360. Okay, not as bad as modern Sonic, but if we use the Werehog, yeah, long old load and still a chunk of lag afterwards. Modern Sonic loads quicker. I don't know, presumably his model might still be in memory, unlike the Werehogs. But the Werehogs, yeah, does struggle a lot more to load than modern Sonic's. Anyway, there you go. That's what I wanted to come back to the 360 for. I think I should actually be done with it this time, but I'm not going to turn it off just in case. I'm going to leave it on and be sensible so we don't have to sit through the menus again. Righty, let's go back onto the Series S. And this time, you know it, we're going to be doing FPS boost. That 60 FPS goodness, people. Let's go. Oh man, that had me so hyped. You have no idea. Okay, removing the cable from the 360 and putting it back into the Series S. Right about now, there we go. I've done this a few times now, so I I know how to do it, luckily. Let me just refresh the Elgato. There we go. Just taking my Xbox, not my Xbox, my screen a little bit time to react. There we go, I can see it on my end now. So, we're going to manage games and add-ons. And FPS boost. Let's put it on. Get that sucker on. We're looking for that 60 FPS goodness on this stream. I think I was spamming the LB button. It'd be worse when I play Perfect Chaos and get to the second phase and just sidestep me off the ledge. Yeah, that does sound a tad unplayable, doesn't it? Out of curiosity, what controller were you using? Viper doesn't have the adventure packs. I do have the adventure packs. I'm pretty sure I do have the adventure packs. Oh man, I can see a difference in the swoosh on that title screen already. Amazing. Right. You might be able to see a difference here. Look at how much smoother that cursor is going around that menu. It feels fluid so much faster. Yeah, see, look, Callum, I do have them all. Way faster. This is the comparison people wanted me to do, because I want to know how well does this run on an Xbox Series S. And well, we're about to find out. Let's go to a favourite old haunt of ours. Empire City Night. Huh, yeah, just a generations issue then. Look at that! Come on! Let's go! 60. Locked. No questions. Absolutely none asked. Water ain't doing shit right now. Look at this. You love to see it, people. You truly do. Let's go to the day as well. Also, look at how much quicker this cursor's moving in comparison, if you remember back when we were on the 360. If you're watching the VOD, of course you can go back to the 360 and see exactly what I mean. I do intend to put this on YouTube, like I say, so I'll put timestamps for everything on the YouTube version. But, like, look at how quick the cursor can move in comparison. Let's wait until day. Pre-rendered cutscenes are still in 30 FPS, so you won't see any difference in this one. This is still the exact same frame rate. And look, it's still locked. Even as Modern Sonic. As we know, Modern Sonic had less issues in this hub world, but it's still locked. And even look at that, look, you can see reflections on the water. If you look just to the left of Sonic, you can see the reflection of the umbrella from to the left of him. If you're struggling to see them, that's where I recommend. That's like the obvious point. Look at that. Neat. But yeah, absolutely holding. No dips, no gripes, no drops. It's holding. Hey, what's up, Silver? How are you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday, and thank you for dropping by. How are you doing today, good sir? Yeah, no drops, nothing. It's holding. Doing good, that's what we like to hear. Hopefully you're about to enjoy the Xbox Series S testing. You've got in just in time for the FPS boost part of the stream. Let's see. Where do I want to go? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But do I want to go chat? Do we go to Adabat first, or do we leave the suspense on that one? Fair enough, but good to have you back otherwise. Let's go to Holoska Night. You know, another favourite of ours. We've been doing this a lot. The reason we test this is because, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, on the PS3 version, this is actually 60 FPS. Or at least as close to it as the PS3 version gets. On the Xbox 360 version, then it holds its locked 30 FPS just fine. Here on the Series S, 4K. Not 4K. No, it's not 4K. I should clarify that. It's got HDR, but it is still 1080p upscaled. Oh, sorry. Still 720p upscaled to 1080p upscaled to 4K, as far as I know. It looks a little bit sharper than the 360, but it's definitely not 4K, and it's getting some sort of upscaling treatment, as far as I can tell. But it looks far better. You can see here my moves are so much quicker. Oh, because I had people asking me on Twitter, Callum, they were like, oh, this game's 4K, and I'm like, no, it's not 4K. But I appreciate the enthusiasm, you know. The most popular retweet on my tweet I got was someone saying, oh my god, this game's finally in 4K. Sorry to, like, you know, sorry to disrupt you on that one, but it's not actually 4K. But if you looked at it on a 4K TV, if you sat far away enough from it, you wouldn't notice in the slightest. It looked gorgeous with HDR on mine when I tested it a little bit earlier on this morning. it was looking lush. But it ain't 4K. Generations that is worth pointing out. Sonic Generations is 4K. That was patched back when it went backwards compatible on the Xbox One X. So it does actually have 4K support. It uses some sort of different rendering system, because it has the same problem that that PC shaders have, in that when you load into a level, the title card's all corrupted. At least it used to. I didn't actually have that problem when I went back to test it after the new patch. But yeah, aside from the HUD, which isn't, the actual stages and the character models and everything render in 4K, and thanks to the most recent patch, it's also 60 FPS now. So 4K 60 generations. What a time to be alive. But yeah, you can see, not even close to budging. It's staying locked. Hey, what's up, Valeve? How are you doing? Nice to see you around. Thank you for stopping by. 60 FPS is indeed real. Oh, it's so pog. I cannot emphasize how pog it is. Oh, man. Cutscenes as well. In engine, like I mentioned, are 60 FPS. We'll try and prove that at some point later. But that's what I need to show you for Oscar Night anyway. For the experiment to be a success. Right, well, in the name of keeping the suspense up, let's go to another night stage. Also, as I mentioned, if there are any stages people want me to play or test or anything like that, drop them in the chat. I'm up for playing anything once we're on the Series X, which will be just after this. Not like there's any difference between the S and the X, but, you know, it's my primary console and it's the one I'm going to be keeping, so I'd like most of my progress to be done on that one, so I'd say. Play the night stage. I would if there wasn't, like, massive long cutscenes before it, and the fact that I have to play the extra game before I can play that. I might be tempted, like, at the end of the stream. That's a good idea, actually. I'm not going to do it immediately, though, because it's a lot of sitting and waiting around. But that would show off cutscenes as well. Once again, look at how fluid my movement is here. Not even slowing down once. And, like, we can destroy a bunch of stuff as well. Once again, not budging. At all. So, you know, particles have no effect on this game anymore. All this collision it has to render, but, you know, all of this, you know, these havoc physics going everywhere. Not even bothered. 60, locked, and true. It's so weird to actually have this feel so smooth. You know? Oh, man. After playing both of those two versions, and each one being iteratively better, but just... it's so unreal. It feels like the game is playing at 2 times speed. It's incredible. Sega and Microsoft, the two of you for working together. You are legends. Thank you so much for the version of this game I've been wistfully dreaming of for so long. You know, I might have been a bit of a skeptic of Unleashed for PC at times. I just didn't see it happening, etc. when I took my rose-tinted glasses off. I'm happy that we've got the treatment we wanted from that port. You know, and plus, I mean, we're seeing how well this runs on the Xbox Series S. There are going to be a bunch of people who are like, I don't want to buy a Series X. Well, don't buy a Series X. Buy a discounted Series S. You know, there's always people locally who are selling them used, pre-owned. In the case of mine, although, like I said, it's not staying with me personally, I got mine without a controller and cables, and that got it at a significant discount. So, if you've like previously had an Xbox One or something, or you think you can get a controller on the cheap, then that's always a way to get this on the cheap as well. You know, as time goes on, you'll be able to pick these things up for less and less. Especially as the power goes down in comparison to the Series X, more and more people who are on the S are going to want to jump to the X after the games start becoming significantly less comparative between the two consoles. Once that happens, well, you know, in the case of Sonic Unleashed, it's identical, so the price is going to go down, but the availability of Series S's and the price of them themselves is going to go up. Oh, sorry. The availability of Series S is going to go up, the price is going to go down. It will be a good day for Sonic fans. But yes, no. I mean, I'd recommend an Xbox. I'll be honest with you. I do prefer the PS5. There's no questions about that. I'd play the PS5 over the Xbox any day. But Game Pass is a good deal, right? There's got to be something on there you love to warrant your purchase, aside from Sonic Unleashed and Generations, etc. If you're kind of on the fence about it. I'm a massive Forza addict now. No regrets in admitting that, but this game did take me away from Forza time yesterday. I've only played the intro to Horizon 5 and nothing more thanks to this game. So that's testament to how good this patch is, that I'm willing to take time away from Forza to dump so much time into, you know, comparing and contrasting all these versions right here. Horizon 4 was my jam for the last couple of weeks of its existence. I got into it very late, but 5, it's on Game Pass, it's worth it. If you're on the fence, I'd say get it. Especially if you've got like a weaker game in PC. Because the argument people use towards Xbox is, oh, I can just play everything on PC. True! But if you've got a weaker PC, then it's an absolute bargain for the price. Game take your time away from Shin Megami Tensei 5, you know what? Better game. Better brawler, so... Oh, it's Shin Megami Tensei not brawler, but you know what I mean. It's the Super Monkey Ball 2 Shin Megami Tensei 3 comparison, you know. Sonic Unleashed be the Chad. Anyway, why am I still playing this? Once again though, look at how fluid the menu is. It's so smooth on the Series X as well. Yes, Val. It's actually pretty much locked. There were some instances I was noticing in my testing yesterday where it did appear like it, like, how do I word it? The frame pacing appeared a little bit off, so maybe like a frame or two here that was lost. But that also happened in the Series X in different places. So, as far as I'm aware, I want this experiment right here that we're doing now to confirm it. I would be inclined to say they're identical. I'm doing this experiment to confirm that, but at the moment I do believe they're identical. I haven't noticed the difference between the two, and any differences I have, I'm going to outlie as anomalies for now. But we'll confirm that, but I'm pretty sure of it at this point. Honestly, I have no clue. I guess someone just must have really hated Shin Megami Tensei 3. You know? That's all I can think of. Super Monkey Ball 2 is not even the most goated Monkey Ball. That's either 1 or Deluxe. 2's fun. I love 2, but, I mean, 1 and Deluxe, they're my games. Anyway, they're my jams. You've been waiting for it. Let's do it. The stage everyone on Twitter immediately went to, including myself, to test. Jungle Joyride. 60. All the way here. And I will say as well, in regards to the issues that I said I had with the game on Series S and X, every single time, here's how I fixed it. So, I press the Xbox button, I click home, I click back into the game, and every single time that fixed my issue. You know, if there was like some potentially weird stuttering going on, or I thought, is this 60 FPS? It looks like maybe it's like a couple frames lower than 60. I did that, and immediately straight away, problem fixed. It's super quick if you are having any issues yourself, or anyone playing this. That's how I fixed all my issues. And after that, the game ran perfectly smooth again. That is true, Supersonic Swag. I will agree. Both sides are eaten, and now it's even the turn of Bayonetta fans. It's a good year to be a fan of Sega games that appear like they're never going to happen. Also, yeah, I mean, the comparisons speak for themselves. If you're watching the VOD, go back and watch Jungle Joyride again. On the Xbox 360 specifically. Because, look at this. Night and day. It actually is night and day. If you claim you can't see FPS, this will be the stream that changes it for you. This stage right here. Now, here we go. Tree section. Famously poor FPS here. Plenty of freezes the second the fire turns up. nothing. You cannot hold this game back on the Series X and S. I am on the S, to point out. The less powerful one. This is the Series S. Look at this. Perfect. Right, first of all, we're going to do this as intended, so we're going to run through just doing a normal bit of boost here. Look at that. Not budging. It will budge at one point here, which you're about to see. There. It budges there. And one more. It budges here. Occasionally. Not always, but occasionally. That's like the only area in the game which consistently frame drops. But I don't think that's Unleashed's fault, because Generations has a bunch of similar areas. So I assume maybe either the emulator's getting too taxed or something else. I didn't explain that, so I'm going to die and do it again. Right, so what I'm going to do now is, for those of you who just joined the stream, when you speedrun this game, you do some crazy drifts on the water. And what that does is that ups a ton of particle effects, which makes the game lag even more. We're going to do those crazy drifts and see how that holds up. 60. Yeah, a little hitch there, but you know, we're going fast to where I assume maybe the game can't load stuff in. Look at that. Bang. Perfect. Josh buying a $500 console to one game. What's up, Paulie? How are you doing? Nice to see you around. Thanks for dropping by. I imagine a lot of people are currently side-eyeing that Xbox Series S pre-order link right now. I can't say I blame them because, oh man, it's perfect. Let's play some day stages. Let's go to the most basic one first of all. And then we'll do the Eggman Land comparison, and then I think we should be good to go over to the 360.
Here we go.
See, that's what every runner's worst fear is. They pick up the cheap console, they get they get the Series S or X, and then everyone's worst fear comes true. Unleashed to PC at long last. Sega, listen. And everyone's got a paperweight. I can see it happening. It's the sort of thing they do, but it's the sort of thing I love them for at the same time. That complete ignorance. There's a charm to it, you know? Yeah, no budges. Absolutely none. That is true, yeah, I did mess about with it on emulator. Sky's Fork of Xenia has quite a few stages running at 60 FPS, but it's just like too many crashes still, or not enough to where you'd want to play the entire game. But if you've got a complete file, it works perfect. As I'm sure many people have messed about with in here. But, yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. RPCS3 runs it pretty well. I did try that. I didn't have as much luck, though. I can't remember what happened, but I had some sort of crash. But yeah, for the most part, though, I do hear that one runs pretty well as well. But most people are saying Xenia is the way to go now, thanks to that patch. Right, Eggman Land. That's the only other test I want to do on here. Oh my god, yeah. 3900X, yes. What's mine nowadays? I can't remember. It's like one of the... I don't know. I've just completely forgotten. This is where I bring up CPU Z or something like that. System information. It's a Ryzen 5600X. So, not the most amazing of things, but I went for an upgrade pretty recently because, I don't know, my 3600 was selling for a lot more than I bought it for, so I'm like, yep, cool, bye. But, yeah, I'm not doing the full thing of Eggman Land, but I'm just getting it far enough into it to do the one test I always do. 5600X ain't bad. No, and it runs most emulators really well, so I should go back to our PCS3 now, to be fair. But, you know, it ain't top of the line or anything, so I ain't going to be leading in any emulation, what do you call it, any emulation playability tests or anything like that. Yeah, once again, not dropping one bit. We saw how much of a slideshow this was on 360 just now. Whoa! Genius, well done! I am good at the video games. I spend all this effort trying to play them, and I cannot get good at them. What do that be all about? I don't know. But we're nearly there. I don't have to be good for much longer. I can rest my thumbs, thankfully. Although not really. Here we are. The dreaded, infamous clock. Once again, if you're watching on the VOD, you can go ahead and skip back to the point where it's at, but I'm holding down the entire time, and you'll see how quickly I can move as both characters. Bam. 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 So, Modern Sonic, the transition to Modern Sonic was far quicker on Xbox 360 in the sense of... Oh, not far quicker, sorry. Well, how am I trying to word it? It was fast. It was only like a second long, but it did still hitch and stutter. But the transition to the Werehog was horrible. It took like... Well, I don't know, someone probably has an exact estimate in here, but like 3 to 4 seconds, plus a bunch of lag before and after, where the game was still trying to catch up. Here, nothing. Okay, maybe I should stand a bit further back. Nothing. Only when it's loading the character is there the slightest bit of lag, but it's loading an entirely new character model. That would probably happen in a lot of games. That's not Unleashed Mutual. And nothing you notice because it's not in gameplay, because you're not controlling the character while it's happening. So, yeah. There we go. That's all I'm going to show you, Eggman Land, because you kind of get the point after then. Okie dokes. I don't think there's anything else I need to test on the Series S. As far as I'm aware, I think that's all our usual haunts done. Yes, it is. Right, well, I'm going to give this thing a rest. I'm going to close it right back down. And we're going to plug in the X. It's pretty much fired up on the dashboard, ready to go. So let me go ahead and put the right text on. We're not going to bother messing about with the FPS boost off. It looks the exact same as it did on Series S. We're just going to turn the FPS boost back on, and we're just going to play some stages. We're going to have some fun with it after we've done all the usual stages. Alright, one moment. I'm just under the desk, plugging it all back in. Yet again. Wish there was a more elegant setup to do this. I don't have to refresh the capture card because it's the same resolution, thankfully, as far as I'm aware. Although saying that, it might just reset itself anyway. Oh, whoops, I turned on the wrong console. That's not very smart of me. Controller sync. There we go. Right, Sonic Unleashed. Let's check we've got the right version on. FPS boost. Yep. Let's go. Nostalgia in Xbox 360 form. Hey, there's my phone. I couldn't figure out where it was for the longest of times.
Sega.
Let's see, are my notifications going mad like they were earlier on? Yes, yes, they are incredibly mad. One thing I do want to show you as well at some point before the end of the stream is a weird glitch in Generations I found. I know that's not relating to the stream title, but I just want to show it off. Anyway, once again, you know, yada yada, it's 4K. Not 4K. It's not 4K. I've got to reiterate that again. It's upscaling, presumably to 1080p, and then it's also... Okay, how do I word this? So the 360 internally upscales 720p to 1080p. The emulator looks like it's doing the same, so presumably that emulator is then also getting upscaled to 4K. But don't get me wrong, this isn't like any, you know, fancy AI upscaling technology. It's literally just a bilinear filter as far as I can tell, so it's a little bit smeary on a 4K screen. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's the same, looks the same as it did on 360, maybe just a bit sharper, thanks to the Series X handle and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, I want to test a few different stages. What do I want to go to? Empire City Night. You know the deal. You know what we're doing here. You already know what time it is. We've done this like 4 times already. 60. Locked. Nothing changes in the water. Wait until day. Once again, no problems whatsoever. It's remaining there. Perfect. Well, back to the world map. Gonna sue Viper. I just bought a 500 pound console for 4K Sonic Unleashed. I ain't responsible, man. You did that on your own. I didn't say please go out and buy an Xbox Series X. Maybe I did. I don't know. I can't verify that. Where else did I want to go? Let's get the Eggman Land test out of the way. Definitely my save file did not download this off of the tech game. No. I absolutely got this S rank legitimately. I have no clue what you're talking about. On that note, though, for people who are getting into the Xbox Series S and X for the backwards compatibility stuff, there is no way to upload save files to the Series S and X without an Xbox 360. So, if you already had a save on the cloud from the Xbox 360, that's perfect. It will be there. It has to specifically be on the cloud, but it will be there. Here on your Series X. If you didn't, it will create one new for you. But if you want to do something like, say, download a save file, you need to have a 360. If you do, I'm sure you're probably familiar with like Horizon 360 potentially. It's like a modding tool. That way then you can download a save file from the internet and reassign it to your profile ID, your console ID, etc. So you can use it on your account and console. Once you do that, you put it on the USB, load it into your 360, you copy it to your cloud saves, then when you come to your Series S or X, it downloads onto it. So you can use a save file. But like I said, there's no way to do that without a 360, to my knowledge, unfortunately. So if you don't have one, you're just gonna, I don't know, suffer, I guess. Have to unlock 100% Unleashed the manual way. Anyway, same test. Gonna hold down the entire time. We'll see how quickly the Werehog and Sonic loads. Instant. Little bit of lag on Werehog once again, but nothing too bad. But maybe takes a slight bit longer to load than modern Sonic, as you see. There you go. To reiterate as well, look at how fast the menu cursor goes now. Woohoo! There's some tests that aren't really going to need to be said, but I'll do anyway. So we'll go here into Windmill Isle. We'll get somewhere with enemies, but as you'll see, yeah. 60, locked. If it's locking on the Series S, you would expect the same on the Series X. the far more powerful console. It just goes without saying, doesn't it? So, we don't need to show you any more of that. Right, moving on. Let's go back to another favourite. Out of that. Act 1. You would never know, Callum, you would never associate yourself with such things. Downloading save files, not me in a million years. I'm dead.
Here we
Go. It's alright, it hasn't unlocked any achievements. Actually, I think it unlocked 2 achievements. But it hasn't actually touched any others, so I can still earn the achievements legit, which is good. It's all stuff that was like really simple that I could have got on my own anyway, from what I recall. But that's good, because I hate it when save files do that. I did a Sega Superstars Tennis save file once, because I didn't want to play through the game for the sake of a stream, and it just unlocked every single achievement. Oh, that was on the Radio Sega account, Callum. It did it on my own account as well, because I copied the save file from my own account using Horizon. So the exact same thing happened on the Radio Sega stream, which was fun. Yeah, look at that. Still not budging, as you'd expect. I'm dead. I've got to play video games at some point. Or just forgot how to play them. I am still playing them. Not well, but I am playing the game. You know. Counts for something, right? Sweet. Foliage. Everyone's favourite. Let's go. Whoop. I'm good. Very good at the vidges. Let's go. Yeah. No changes whatsoever. Right, running through the section normally, as before. Or not, because I'm getting sniped. Damn, bodies. Still the same amount of lag here as there was in Series X, so... Man. I got more reaction time, and yet I was still screwing this up. Can't believe it. Yeah, we'll just run through it normally to the end. Once, and then I'll be happy to consider that. Case closed on that. And then now it's time for crazy drifting all over the water to build up the number of particle effects on screen, which should, in theory, make it lag way more. Not budging. The one place it will budge is the same place it does on Series S, which is right here. Lags a little bit more because I'm going a bit faster, therefore it's got to load in a bit quicker. That's kind of understandable. Or at least I assume that's what's happening. Someone with a bit more in-depth knowledge on the game than me can probably confirm that. But anyway, yeah. As you can see, that's the only place I noticed that irregularly hiccups and stutters is Adabat. Which makes sense, because that was the most CPU and GPU taxing stage on the 360 version. So it makes sense that it's also the most taxing on this current version, right? And like Silver says, it's like a microsecond. You can see it. But this isn't an Unleashed exclusive problem. Because I've been messing about with Sonic Transformed and Sonic Generations as well. Sonic Generations, not too bad, but it does have some of them. But I notice it quite a lot in Transformed. I think it might be an emulator thing. Because I highly doubt that it's a problem with loading them in quick enough. I mean, the SSD should be able to handle it. I just assume it's how the emulator communicates with the CPU, GPU, and hard drive, maybe? I don't know. I'm not an emulator developer, but it's not exclusive to this game. So I don't think it's like we're at a limit or something. They could theoretically patch it and it wouldn't always lag. But we might also be at a hard drive, GPU, CPU bottleneck that I don't know of because I'm not a professional. So maybe it won't get patched. It's probably likely it won't get patched. But I mean, you saw it there firsthand. It's not too big a deal if it doesn't, right? Right, aside from that, that's pretty much the main majority of the test. So, any stages you want to see, chat, I'm going to go into a favourite of mine. I'm going to go to Rooftop Run. Let's go.
Here we...
Man, I've been live for nearly 2 hours. That's incredible. Night stage, I will do night stage as the very last stage, Callum. But you know what, we'll do the final boss. We'll give the fans what they want at some point towards the end. But yeah, I mean, this stage is probably the iconic one, right? That's the reason it's in Generations, but it's also the most fun in my eyes. We get a good bit of enjoyment out of Rooftop Run. It's just fast free flow, and there's not too many traps or areas that try to get tricky with you. Nice and simple, just run to the goal. Tons of obstacles in your way, have fun. I can't really give you more of a boast reason as to why I like it than that. I'm sure, like, as well, to point out, in the coming days, I'm sure there will be more in-depth analysis. I don't even know what the plural would be, but, you know, there'll be a more in-depth analysis coming out over the days. I'm sure, you know, various tech channels might take a look into all of the games, and therefore Sonic Unleashed will be bundled into it. A bunch of other games got FPS boost too, remember? Including 2 other Sonic games, but I'm sure a bunch of channels will cover it in the coming days, so this isn't going to be the most scientifically accurate test for very long. It might already be outdated by the time I'm live streaming this, I don't know, but point being, there will be more in-depth analysis. Maybe it does hiccup and stutter in places that I haven't noticed before. You know, I'm hoping for like some massive Digital Foundry tech review. You know? We are the VIPER Foundry, a very legitimate organisation, totally not inspired in any way by DF. So if they do something, it'd be interesting to see, you know, all the analysis and frame rate and frame pacing graphs and stuff like that, and see if it's actually as legit as I think it is. But as it goes right now, hopefully this has provided some nice context. That's what I'm doing this for. People who are looking out to maybe go and get a Series S or X to play this game, what can you expect? That sort of thing, you know, as a casual player, or maybe as a slightly more than casual player, someone who's a long-time Unleashed fan, or knows what they're looking for, or someone who speedruns, but someone who doesn't have too much of a tech analysis into how these games work. You know, from our perspective, right, is this worth picking up a console for? That's the main thing. If you got it, you can figure that out for yourself. But, you know, I've had a couple of friends be like, oh, really tempted to get a Series whatever as a result. You know, is my money well spent on the S? Is my money better saved up for the X? Well, the results speak for themselves as far as I'm concerned. It's identical. The weird issues with stuttering that I mentioned that I fixed by going to the console menu, not seeing any of them while I've been streaming at all, on either console. So I think that's pretty much case closed at this point. Series S and Series X are identical for Sonic Unleashed. No matter what console you go with, you're going to get a great experience. At this point, I'm just continuing to play because I'm enjoying 60 FPS Sonic Unleashed, you know. Banger of a game. But yeah, you're in good hands if you get your hands on a Series S, as these results prove, so do not worry about it too much at all. I don't have any frame rate graphs or any FPS counter or anything, because I can't provide you that with my current technology. I can just show you them running what is effectively side by side, right? That's the best I can do, so that's the best I can deliver. But man, oh man, as many people have said coming to the chat, and I've said it many times in the stream myself, it's the Unleashed we've deserved for so long. So I'm glad we're finally getting the true intended experience.
How's that?
I'm gonna go to Missouri as well, why not? Another favourite of mine.
Here we go!
Complete with a banger in the background. I know people say that this is a remix of the Sonic 1 Master System credits theme, right? But I've never heard it. As in, you know, I just can't hear the similarity. Maybe someone's got like a more in-depth comparison nowadays, but I've just never heard it. Just not to say it isn't, because I'm highly sure it is. I just, you know, don't know what I'm listening for, I guess. Which, you know, considering Sonic 1 Master System was my first game, you know, it's a dear love of mine. I should really, remember the credits theme a bit more, shouldn't I? Especially since it's a Yu Yu Hakusho banger, right? That's even more of a reason to remember it. Man, I was about to say the colours feel so right. That's an entirely different game. The Unleashed feels so unleashed. We'll go with that. I know a lot of people have been calling this Sonic Unleashed Unleashed, which is a more fitting name. Maybe I should have gone with that. That flame effect, no lag on that anymore. It's smooth sailing. Whoops. Nice.
Feeling good.
Whip Sonic Unleashed analysis. I'm not about to make like 20 discussion videos on this game, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'm excited about it too much to do that. I just want to play the game. Respect to Twit for being able to make so many videos about games instead of just playing them, because I could never. You know, VIPER FOUNDRY is not established enough yet. We need we need to get the staff. Respect to Twit for never leaving the house. I mean, I do that, and I'm still not I'm still not on par with his content levels yet. I need to rep my game up. Right, same question as always. Anything people want me to play? Any stage in particular? Just because you like it for whatever reason? Just a bit of Cool Edge. Why not? Oh boy, that sounds like fun, Silver. Best of luck figuring everything out.
Here we go.
Oh, is that just where your PC goes? Nope. CPU go brr. Or is that where hard drive space goes brr? Or hard drive access for that matter as well. Here we go. I normally have Japanese voices turned on my own account because, you know, I kind of got bored of hearing woo, woo, woo every 2 seconds, but this person had English on their account, so I you know, had to take an L for the team. I just keep forgetting to switch it back. It's better for the stream. It makes more sense for the stream, I guess. That is true. It especially doesn't matter for my Twitch, you know, when we're currently at 3000 bitrate because British internet go brr, but aside from that, this is not the Weeb Foundry. Look, Spanish Sonic and Generations will be OP. That might be the play. Cannot confirm or deny. Does that make me a weeb? Is there a Spanish equivalent of a weeb? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm wanting to find out. We'll give the fans what we want. When I start playing Generations, I will, when I play Generations to show you this one glitch I found with the 60 FPS pack, we'll do the language that the people want. I'm a man of the people. Once again, no drops whatsoever. You do be skating though. I'm awful at this section, so prepare for 10 deaths. Chat. Never mind. It is Silver, isn't it? Like, even playing the 360 version, I was still enjoying that a lot. It's just testament to how solid of a game Unleashed is, isn't it? That we can still we still can and did enjoy it for so many years with all those performance issues, right? At least this looks less painful for the whale, you know, having those skates digging into his back last time. He's put up with a lot. Or is that a different whale? Do we have evidence? Do we have any confirmation on that? Anyone on the science? You know, like, to be honest, the PS3 version of Unleashed, despite how wacky the FPS could be in comparison to the 360, which tends to remain a bit more stable, it was still my preferred version for those instances where it would reach 60, no matter how rare they were. I did enjoy the PS3 version more. I enjoyed the higher, as far as I'm aware, higher resolution. If someone wants to correct me on that, feel free. But it was just always the one I came back to. But now, like, I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. Maybe if I want the trophies, but like that's kind of the only reason I could ever see myself playing the PS3 one again. This is the future. We are playing it right now. No, I am playing it. You're watching me play it. I feel sorry for everyone else. As I've said before, I think we do need to get a donation stream going to get people without Series S's. Get them on a Series S. Get them playing 60 FPS Unleashed. It will change their lives. A-Rank's still looking a little sus. No, we are not bringing up Forces. This has been a Forces reference-free stream so far, Callum. No, let's do Shamar. Why not? Not a single Forces reference until now. You were doing well. Shamar's the stage I play least, so this might be a little rough around the edges. Oh, whoops. Yes, for anyone who's new and doesn't regularly listen to me getting bullied for it. Yes, Platinum Sonic Forces. That was fun. I had nothing better to do. I wasn't at work and I wanted to get hyped for Colours Ultimate because I was going to Platinum that. So I was like, oh, Platinum Mania and Forces. But because I never finished Mania, it's now a meme that I tried to Platinum Forces and did. Crowdfund, get me a Series S. I am desperate for it. Sounds like a plan. Everyone's just wondering where you've been. Doesn't matter. Series S is needed now. Oh, it's nice to have you back on Twitch, Callum. Not bothered. Not interested. It's donation stream time, baby. Fire up that Streamlabs. I mean, the Series S isn't staying with me, so by my own logic, what I need to do this stream. The Series X is not remaining at my house for too much longer, so whenever I'm next away, it will be going with me, and it will be remaining there. So I'm taking advantage of the portable Sonic Unleashed gameplay while I can. It do be portable though. It don't. It could do with a handle on the back, but it's as close to portable Unleashed as I think we're gonna get at this point. Had to grind for the Series X 2-hour donation stream. Ah, yes. I mean, I don't even have to say it at this point. It could become a meme that I'm saying it too much, but once again, no stutters, anything like that. We're real good. Sonic Unleashed GameCube port? I mean, the PS2 port has like 4 polygons, so I can see it working. If fans want to get on that, then feel free. It would be unwished, but you know, these are the sacrifices we got to make for the hardware, right? I did actually need to get Sonic Unleashed for PS2 again, because I haven't got into this escapade on social media at all, but I've got into PS2 modding again, and I ended up buying myself a fat PS2 and stuck a hard drive in it. And didn't just stick one in mine, I also stuck one in Busy Lizzie's as well. So there's 2 consoles now which have been completely modded up at the fault of my own. So I don't have Sonic Unleashed yet. I need to get it again so I can put it on the hard drive. Even though I never want to play that version in a million years over the Wii one. I don't really want to play the Wii one either. The nostalgia factor's kind of rubbed off on it now. Yeah, that was the one I had as a child, but going back to it every time, I was like, ew, this game's kind of rough around the edges now. Yeah, the red tinted glasses have worn off a bit on that game for me. Not red tinted, rose tinted, you know what I mean. You need to quote that? I don't know, Callum. I don't know. Do we do some DLC? I think we do. Let's go to Aptos. Let's do... Which one's the one I like? I think it's this one. Right? No, it's not. It's Act 2. I think? I'm pretty sure it's Act 2. I thought it was Act 2. What? Eh? Huh? It wasn't, because I haven't finished this. Oh, it's not. It is Act 1. Right. Ignore the diversion. It's fine. It's just the camera angle wasn't looking like how I was expecting it to at the start. Like, I remember the camera angle being a really far off shot, so I'm like, oh, this isn't right.
Here we go!
I don't know. I just misremembered. It's this one, yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's the stage I'm thinking of. The ridiculously... not wrong. The ridiculously long edit of a 40-second long stage, because that's just kind of what the DLC does. I'm not very good at this, so prepare for some rust and maybe some salt. Cannot confirm or deny how much salt, but it might be a lot. The comically large edit. Yes, that's how I describe it. Little bit of a stutter there, but I think that's just where it's loading in assets, as far as I can tell, because this is a pretty big geographically staged. Let me do my old trick of going back into the menu and going back in and seeing if that helps. It seems to have. Oh, whoops. Genius. Well done, Viper. Oh, good. Now I have to do this on my own yet again. It isn't... Oh, God. Oh. I've messed this up badly. I need an adult. Oh, how wrong you were, Callum. I thought much the same, and then it turned out they were just extremely bullshit difficult edits of all the stages, and I got audibly angry at all these stages. Because they are frustrating when you're 7 years of age, unsurprisingly. How old have I been? Actually, I've probably been more like 10 when I first played these, I think. Oh, I only played a couple of them. I got most of them much later. Probably like... I don't know. I got them on the PS3 at some point, but then I rebought them all on 360 when the Series X version of this dropped. Because, oh, you know, stable 30 FPS, it's so amazing to play. Oh, how wrong we were. If only we knew that we'd be getting a 60 FPS patch 1 year on. Pretty much to the date. It was only like a couple days out. Literally the first game I downloaded onto my console was Sonic Unleashed. The day the Series X came out. First console that I bought on launch day, I should point out. The first game I downloaded was an Xbox 360 game. Do you know what the first game I actually played was, though? It was Daytona. Because it was the first game that finished installing. So, my first next-gen experience was Daytona. No regrets. Daytona USA, banger game. Need to get an online lobby going sometime soon, I'm sure you all agree. Yeah, imagine buying a Series X of Sonic Unleashed, they said. How wrong they were. Series X was like my console on launch day. I was so looking forward to Series X, way more than PS5. But then I got it, and in the years since, minus Forza, it's just mostly been a legacy machine. It's spent most of its life as a souped-up 360 and Xbox One, rather than actually playing anything new for it. Like, I have a single new disc, and it's Puyo Tetris 2. I used to have Yakuza Like a Dragon once upon a time, but I don't anymore. Yeah, this is the only game I own physically now, I'm pretty sure. Everything else I've just played on Game Pass, or I just haven't owned, and I bought on PS5 instead. I have PS5, like I say, just a better console, but Game Pass and backwards compatibility are absolutely crack on the Series consoles. I ain't even mad that it spent most of its time as a powered up Xbox One, because, to be honest, a lot of Xbox One exports are still better than their PS4 Pro counterparts. Like, I know it's a meme and whatever, but Sonic Forces is still technically better on the Series X. It technically runs at a higher resolution and FPS than the PS4 version / PS5 version does, which is interesting. Whoops. No reason to get an X, that's fair. Really? Ah, so you went the opposite way to me, Supersonic Swag. That's interesting. Yeah, it's not like I don't. It's not like I dislike the Series X. It's just every time I turn it on, there just seems to be some sort of massive update I have to do, and there's a lot of waiting around for downloads to finish. Whereas the PS5 feels a lot more instant in that regard, and it just has more exclusives that I'm interested in. Which I'm not one of those people who sit there and defend Sony exclusives on Twitter all day, but I don't know. Sackboy, Ratchet and Clank, and Astro Bot have kept me happy on the exclusive front for the last year, whereas Microsoft, I've kind of only played Forza. Everything else has been a multiplayer that I've just chosen to play on Xbox in the last year. Anyway, what did I want to do? I guess I want to do Empire City. And then after that, I think we'll do a night stage. I'll probably do Rooftop Run night. So, Empire City Day is one of the stages that is actually working at 60 FPS on Xenia. So this is the closest we came to 60 FPS Unleashed before now, thanks to Scythe's Xenia fork it is. So it's a separate version of Xenia that the Sonic modder Scythe created. That's the closest we've ever come to like the full game being in 60 FPS. A couple of stages on that do work, but now we got the real deal. Yeah, I'm kind of much the same, to be honest, Supersonic Swag. There's a reason I haven't bought a ton of PS5 games I might have otherwise bought. Ratchet and Clank I was fine with, because I like the series, so I knew I was going to enjoy the game a lot, and I did. I platinumed it, which is what I can say about any other Ratchet and Clank game, actually. It was my game of the year, until Deltarune Chapter 2 just quietly dropped and went, actually, nope. But Ratchet was so good. It was well and truly worth the £70 I paid for it, even if I did grumble as well at the fact it was £70. It was worth it. I got my time out of it to where I consider that reasonable. Other games, not as much. It's for that reason I got Miles Morales on... Right, for those of you in the UK, you'll remember the PS5 launched like a week later here, for no real reason. For those of you outside the UK, yeah, it launched a week later here for no real reason. But the games still came out on the same day, for some reason, as the US release. So, when I say I got them launch day, I mean as in I got them a week before my console arrived. What? Like, I know in the US the controllers came out a little bit earlier, which is fair enough. You know, some people might want to get them out on PC or whatever. But, like, no, for us, the games came out a week early. It's madness. Like, where? It was weird. But yeah, anyway. Point being here, I got Miles Morales just before release day, but I didn't pay full price for it. I think I got quite a hefty discount. I think same with Sackboy. That's why I got them both at launch day, because I paid less than MSRP for both by a sizable chunk. I've still not played Miles Morales Callum, so don't worry about it. I have been wanting to play it very recently, but I've got Forza still to play. But once I'm done with that, I might jump back into it. Or jump into it, I mean. But yeah, no, aside from that, Ratchet's the only exclusive I've got. Everything else I've got has been a third-party game for both consoles. But I've never paid what they consider full price for any other game on the console. Also, yeah, there are some, like, somewhat hiccups and stutters here. Once again, gonna do my same fixed. There we go, that's pretty much sorted it. So, to reiterate, if you're new to the stream or you're skipping through the VOD or whatever, if you have any stuttering issues on Series X or S, open the Xbox menu, click Home, click back into the game. It seems to fix 99.9% of problems. It's kind of weird how it works, but it just seems to work. I don't know why. But yeah, anyway, the point I was getting at is, in fact, I paid some £70 as the MSRP here, so if you imagine what that converts into dollars, yeah, the price that Americans are complaining about is even more here. It's ridiculous for PS5 games. Whereas, what am I trying to say? I don't think I've paid anywhere near that price for the majority of games on it. Alex Kidd in Miracle World, for example, I got the Signature Editions. You know, the one that came with a fancy box with a metric ton of stuff in it. I think that was only like 50. And that was like for a super duper collector's edition. Meanwhile, Dirt 5, which launched for 70, I'm pretty sure, I got at Argos for £15 back in June. Oh yeah, no, that's fair. Respect to Australia, they're even worse than us. Australia and New Zealand have it rough in currency conversion, but we still have it rougher than America, so I still can complain. Right, let's do a night stage. Spagonia Night's my favourite, so that's why we're going there, and if anyone asks. There's actual platforming in it, believe it or not. It's mental. Yeah, that's exclusively it. Supersonic Swag, exactly. Games have always been overpriced here, but it just got especially out of hand last gen. Like, the average price for games was £30 during the 7th gen, and then they slowly crept that up towards the end to 50. And then once the Xbox One launched, it was 50, but budget titles were still 30. Sega mostly make budget titles nowadays, so that makes sense as to why I became so fond of them that gen. Nintendo games are still 50 across the board, but Sony games tend to be 70 now. Sega games are about 30, and Xbox games tend to be about 50. So Xbox games have mostly stayed in place, minus a couple of third parties who are a bit greedy, like EA. PlayStation games as a whole have gone up. Nintendo games have stayed the same, and third parties like Sega, who know they don't want to rip their customers off by making everything a budget title for £30, clearly have the right idea. Now, don't get me wrong, of course, like, indie stuff still has and will continue to exist for much lower prices, which is, you know, why I try and play my fair share of indie games, you know, but at the same time, I don't know, I do still love a AAA release every now and then, but not for £70 a pop each time. And plus, I mean, there's not really anything coming out on the PS5 at this point, exclusive-wise, that's really interesting me. Like, I can't even think of anything that's interesting coming out, like, in the next year on PS5 that isn't coming out on anything else. There's probably stuff, but I don't know. Hey, what's up, Frog? How you doing? Nice to see you around here. What's the performance testing say? It says, my man, the exact same on both Series S and X. Even if you got FPS boost on or off, the performance seems to be the exact same. And I threw in Xbox 360 comparisons just for giggles. And yeah, it's a PowerPoint slideshow. It's not great. But thank you for dropping by, I appreciate it. So, for anyone who's joining in potentially new, as well, I should say, this is going up as a VOD, so you will be able to, on YouTube, you know, skip through, and if I say, oh look, go back to this timestamp and compare and look how different these things are, well, you can do just that. Yeah, like, I was enjoying my 2 frames a second on 360. Eggman Land was yummy, as was Adabat. But, you know, it was fun just to get something going. Yeah, exactly, Supersonic Swag. That was kind of a bummer for me. When they announced that, I was like, okay, cool, I'm done with Sony at this point. I'm not really, but Japan Studio was making like 99% of the games I found interesting. Insomniac and Japan Studios, that's it. I can't say I'm too interested in like Naughty Dog or any of the exclusives From Software are doing or anything like that. I mean, I do kind of get a kick out of why can't I think of the name all of a sudden? The studio who originally Media Molecule. Media Molecule do kind of make cool stuff, but Dreams isn't exactly my cup of tea. So as a result, I'm just a bit out on it. But I still follow like new Little Big Planet stuff. But aside from that, I don't know. I grew up with with an Xbox, you know, in a sense. So I don't know. I never got too much into Microsoft exclusives either, though. Oh man, Insomniac are goated. They are the ones. I mean, I'm not going to be as harsh on Last of Us as some people are, but it's not for me. Uncharted wasn't really either for me as well. I'm sure maybe that opinion would change if I played it, but Last of Us especially, I don't have any interest in an apocalypse shooter like that. That's more story driven, especially. I don't mind like a multiplayer apocalypse shooter, but in fact, I quite like them. But I don't know. It's just never looked like it's going to scratch any itches for me, even before, you know, all of the people wildly complaining about the second game, which some were justified, some were incredibly unjustified. Oh, Callum, you'll love Metal Gear Solid then. People seem to have no problems with that game. Having 70-hour-long cutscenes. I mean, don't people think Back 4 Blood's really mid as well, so does that hold up? You know, like I say, I've kind of had a rough time adapting to Sony's ecosystem of exclusives in the PS4 and PS5 era, just because, I don't know, never grew up with a PlayStation console. No one around me really had them. Everyone I knew who growing up had 360s, but yeah, I had, you know, legacy consoles that were hand-me-downs. I started off with a Master System, then went straight pretty much into the Wii and Xbox 360, so as a result, you know, didn't have any time to go, oh, you know, got a PS2, I'm going to enjoy all these great exclusives and all these platformers and stuff. It's like, nope. Just, I got a PS3, I exclusively played third-party games on it. And then, like, a couple months later I got a PS4 and it's like, oh, time to adapt to exclusives, I guess. Oh, I didn't even jump ship, Callum. I got mine in, I got my PS4 in 2016, like right at the end of it. After whatchamacallit? I can't think. I don't know. I just got it after I got some money randomly given to me, and I already had some saved up. So it's like, oh, cool. Let's get a PS4. And I got Ratchet and Clank, and I'd already played it a decent amount on PS2. I did have a PS2 by this point, so I played the first one a little bit. So I got that game. So that was like my introduction proper to Insomniac. And, you know, gone back and experienced the classics since. And stuff like that. But yeah, no, the Xbox One wasn't even a consideration. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The main reason I got my PS4 was for Project Eva Future Tone. It was exclusively for that game. Because the English release was coming out, and I'm like, right, I need to get a PS4. Not PS4, I need to get a PS4 right now, because I've always wanted to play this. I've always wanted to play a proper console Diva game, because I'd only played the PSP ones before then. And if I was going to play anyone, it was going to be Future Tone. We just never had any money. It was like, I don't know when it started. It probably started when I got my 360, and it kind of ended not too long ago, but that's because I got the job rather than anything else, any other circumstances changing. But yeah, we never really had any money, so, you know, having consoles bought for like Christmas and stuff was kind of always out of the question. So as a result, it was like, oh hey, I've got an opportunity to buy a console for myself, so I did it. And don't regret it, because, you know, for as much as I complained about Sony throughout the end of the generation, you know, there were so many sick games on the PS4, right? And it's clearly night and day better than the Xbox One. But I don't know, backwards compatibility on the Xbox One was looking really promising. But yeah, as a whole, way more powerful console, way better games. It was the better console, just I thought they were making some idiotic business decisions, as I voiced it many times when they were being funny on crossplay, and they were being funny with those PS2 classic things they were offering on the PS4, and how they made an official PSP emulator for Loco Roco HD, and then only made like 4 games for it, and just abandoned that, the same way they abandoned the PS2 classics. Not that I'm salty about that one or anything at all. Yeah, as you were saying, Supersonic Swag, Japan studio closing, that's like 99% of the exclusives I were interested in. I'd always been meaning to play Gravity Rush, so it's nice to know there'll never be a sequel to that, and I'd always do love a bit of Loco Roco. Patapon I tried to get into but couldn't really, but I got a lot of respect for it. And so many others that I'm forgetting as well, that are just completely dead in the water now, which is just sad, isn't it? But I mean, that's just their shift nowadays. They're just interested in more cinematic Western games, which, if that's what people are consuming, that is fair enough. But at the same time, you know, don't close down the entire studio because of it. There's still a niche there to cater to. Yeah, it's a niche, but it's a niche. You know, that's still people to cater to at the end of the day that no other console is currently doing so. Wasn't Gravity Rush 3 being made? I don't know, King. Also, welcome back. But yeah, no, they closed last year. They announced it like right at the start of the PS5, so I was very grumpy about that. Oh, whoops! I let go of my inputs too early. Bad. Oh yeah, like that generation was over, Callum, the second they dropped that PS4 announcement. The scorch marks on that how to share used games with your friends video, they can still be felt. It still comes up in my recommended once every like couple months, and I will give it a watch, because we do got to respect the Sony W there. Shin Megami Tensei 5 came out. Have I heard anything about that recently or nothing? I've heard it's a good game, but are you going to tell me something in particular that I might have missed? All I've seen is the writing is bonkers. In a good sort of bonkers way, in like a so batshit insane it's actually good, or in a like this is ridiculous way. I cannot get on board with this, that sort of thing. Sweet. Well, that was way slower than I would have liked, but, you know. Did what I could. Beyond self-aware, that's good to hear. I think. I'm not sure, but I think. Right. Okay. The chat wanted it. We'll do it. Let's do it, Dark Gaia. Oh, you actually don't have to play the extra green. I thought you did have to. I'm not very good at this part of the boss fight, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be lacking a little bit here. When you try to say kill team and it says what the ESRB. Excellent. So it's a parody of itself. Good to hear. The chat equals me. I mean, it technically does. It means everyone. But it does mean you. You're the one who's been requesting this, Callum. So, we'll do it. It's keeping locked. Here we go. Boost. Roost to that boost. It'd be roosting. Oh, good. Give me a nice wide opening to hit him directly in the chops. Come on! Get there before he throws the fireball! Yes! Alright, we're gonna cheat, I'm gonna be honest. That's fair. They probably are feeling an L, but that's good. Because I hope Game Pass does good for the industry. outside of Microsoft, it doesn't seem like that's the case, because it seems like creators are getting bum deals from like EA Play and stuff like that. So, but Microsoft seems to be doing good with it, and it's good for the consumer, definitely. It's such a great deal. Everyone who talks about Game Pass sounds like they're shilling it. No, like they've been paid to promote it, but it is just genuinely that good. Like, yeah, I do prefer owning my games as well, but at the same time, Forza Horizon 5, a brand new game, day one, plus 100 other games for a £10 subscription instead of paying £70 for a disc? Yes, of course I'm going to do that. Why would I not? That's amazing, Supersonic swag. Incredible. I mean, people are going to say PS Now is a rebuttal, but PS Now is not even close. Yeah, you can actually download the PS4 games now to your console, which is nice. Still can't do that for PS5 games, as far as I'm aware. And PS3 games are all streaming, and unless you have like 100 down, you ain't getting a good connection to PS Now. The same can be said with Xbox Game Cloud or whatever it's called, but the difference is that's not the main part of the service, whereas the streaming is the main part of the service for PS Now. Xbox Game Cloud is just a thing that comes with Game Pass, which, if you have the connection for it, is awesome. Unlike the PS Now thing, where if you don't have the connection for it, well, it's a pointless subscription that doesn't even come close to rivaling Game Pass. It starts to, if you have a good streaming connection, because some of the PS3 games on there are great, but not close enough for a lot of people. I'm just going to take the pot shots. Come on, please get close. Thank you. We're still cheese, then I'm sorry. Voice acting 10 out of 10.
Sonic, hit Dark Gaia's weak spot. Quick, while I hold him back. Chip, you rock! Go! Hurry, Sonic! Dark Gaia's getting
Let's go.
something. Hang tight.
Yeah, all the Yakuza games, including 7, on Game Pass. That is a W. Seven's finally on there, which is great. Massive win. 0 through 6, the entire Kiryu Saga, there, £10 a month subscription. Much better than buying, like, the discs at £50 a pop or whatever they were when they were new. Like I did, like a sucker. Although I think I got Kiwami 1 and 6 on some sort of sale. So I at least got a discount on them. Although I did buy the Yakuza Remastered Collection on disc, and digital, and on PC. So maybe I didn't win that one. Maybe I lost that one. But you know, it's fine. Come on. Don't take too much damage. Ah, well. Oh, was it? Kiwami 2? Yeah, no, you're right. It was. I only paid $35 for it. I remember that now. I mean, to be honest, it's like the only way they can do it, Callum. Because PS Now isn't emulation. PS Now uses actual PS3s. Or at least like PS3 dev hardware. I'm going to die before I get there. Please. Please. Oh. You know, it's like actual PS3 dev hardware that runs in some sort of cloud server that makes PS3 work on PS Now. It's no software emulation or anything. So in that sense, in the way they currently do it, yeah, they couldn't offer that as a service, obviously, because the answer to that was, we'll just buy a PS3. If you want us to send you a PS3 for a PS Now subscription, just buy a PS3. Understandably. But if they ever did turn it into software instead, then yeah, don't lock that behind PS Now, just make backwards compatibility with PS3. But because of how the Zell works, it's never really likely to happen. Sony could do it. They could fund it and get it done. And they have the... You know, they have the clever people. They have the money. They must have the design documents for that CPU. They have the capability to do PS3 emulation. I just imagine the, you know, the reward for doing so isn't enough for them, because most people will play their PS3 discs rather than buy them on the PS Store or anything, so that will amount to a lot of money lost. You know, people, that's partially what Xbox backwards compatibility relies on. At least on the Xbox One. You can buy all the games digitally. I don't think there's any that you can't buy digitally. Even the stuff that was delisted, if it's on there, it got relisted for the purposes of making it backwards compatible. So that's how they partially make their money. It's people going, oh, I don't want to pay £30 to get this on disc when I could just pay like £10 for the digital version. Sony, their fan base, a lot of them is going to have hung on to their PS3 discs. As a result, no one's really going to buy digital games if they put millions of dollars and yen, whatever, into developing this PS3 emulation technology. So they wouldn't really make that much back off of it. Are we ready for some mashing? Or do we mash here or do we mash later? Is it just the cutscene at the end? I think it's just the cutscene at the end. So. Oh god, it was just a game rental service, wasn't it, once upon a time? I forgot about that. Like, I knew it was streaming only, but you're right, it is technically rental only, which kind of sucks. Game Pass, you know, that is still rental as well, but at least you get to keep the game on your console if your subscription runs out. And then if you want to buy it separately, you can. If you want to buy a Game Pass again, you can. It's still there, and you can jump straight back into it. I've done that many times before, so... Come on, get there quick enough, please. Oh my god. But yeah, no, Game Pass is cool in that sense, in that if you want to go and buy it separately and your subscription lapses, it's still there on your console, and buying it will keep it on the console, so you don't have to re-download it. If your Game Pass subscription lapses and you want to resubscribe, it's still there for you. It's perfect. Go Power Rangers and Resident Evil, both at the same time, but I'm skipping the cutscenes. I just want to eat food. It's nearly 8 o'clock. I haven't eaten dinner yet. Here we go. Definitely not Nights into Dreams inspired. The best game they ever released. Rings aren't the problem here. It's just staying alive is the problem here. So I don't know why I'm holding back for so many rings. Like, there's not a ring counter or anything, is there? I always forget that in Unleashed. Oh, I'm getting absolutely bodied. Yeah, I wish that was the case, Callum, but I guess they just don't want to put the bother into what do you call it? I guess they just don't want to put the effort into making the infrastructure on the console. Which is weird, because in the last batch of backwards compatibility games they did on the Xbox One, when they added Panzer Dragoon Auto, that game always had a problem which blocked it from being completed on 360. They actually went back and patched that game for 360 when they put it on Xbox One. They went back and patched that issue because, oh, we're already working on the game, well, let's go and patch the 360 version. Which is amazing, right? That's such great attention to detail. They went back and fixed that. But I just wish they did that for like all Game Pass stuff, and you know, Game Pass was generally more compatible with the actual 360 machine. It kind of sucks in that sense, but I don't know. It's a legacy console. It's just the fact that it's still going is impressive in itself. Come on, where are the snakes? There's a snake. Oh, I got shot. Sag. Oh, and it's gone. Bye. Byes. Look, it's a Knights reference. I don't make the rules here. This is a Knights reference right here. Where the fuck's the last snake? Come on, come back before I die, please. There we go. That's not what I wanted. Oh, you jerk! God, he's gone back again! Okay, no, we're good, we're good. Right. I've just got to stay alive. That's not going to be an easy job when we are practically dead. Ah, it's Ogre. Just caught the end, still banging theme. How's up, Jake? So how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're just about ending things off, but thanks for dropping by nonetheless. You knacker in tears, Aaron. Someone call the man. He's not holding up well. I got Balan Wonderworld on PS4 the other day for £5. I already had it on PS5. But let's ignore that. I got it on PS4 for the collection. It was £5. I couldn't resist the offer. So why? I can't help but ask. Why is sperm flying at us? Can I just ask this? Just curious, you know.
My turn, Sonic. Hey, what are you doing, Chip?
I still haven't ordered the Balan Wonderworld novel. You're right, Dave. I haven't done it. I can't bring myself to do it. I'm not invested enough in the Balan Wonderworld lore. Even when spoilers, Balan became an anime boy. I still didn't have any interest. That did not hook me enough to buy the novel. I mean, were we not all a fan of that big plot twist at the end? Oh my god, he's a real boy. Incredible, incredible. Oh, I did it again. Oh, I did it! Hey, what's up, WrestleMania? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you about. Otherwise, I can't say at the minute. Be well, I will be. Thank you so much for dropping by. I appreciate the company, but I hope work goes well for you. I've been back at work today, so I understand the pain. Thank you, appreciate that. Nice to hear from you. This is shocking. I'm gonna die again. I can't believe this. How is this so? See, seems something right. I did consider this, but I have self-restraint. I got way more enjoyment out of Forces than I did out of Balance, so I don't know. When I beat the game and saw there was a third act to every world, I was like, nah, I'm done, I'm out. No more of this. I saw the credits, that's enough. This game has done its damage, and I will let it do no more. I'm joking, it's not as bad as people say. But that's meaning, like, it's not a good game, but it's not like the abomination that killed people's children that people say it is. But I still wouldn't voluntarily 100% it. Mad respect to the people who have, though, because from what I hear, you actually get Balan as a power-up if you 100% it, which does actually sound cool. You almost wish they put it in the main game and not locked it behind 100%, but hey-ho. You almost wish, when you played as Balan, it wasn't just a QTE, but it's fine, it's fine. People like it. I know we're rare. I respect you for that, Espania. Many people will call you crazy, but I do respect that. People who like it, or people who really like it, all the enjoyment, etc. You know, more power to you all. Because I do have some friends on the social medias who are big old fans of Balan, but I don't know. I always knew it wasn't going to be the Knight's Killer, which everyone claimed it was going to be. I mean, there's evidence of me saying when it was announced, this looks way more like Blinks the Time Sweeper than it does Balan, and I was entirely correct. I'd still like to have that plaque signed. I called it. You know, when everyone was hyped and was still saying it was going to be the best thing since sliced bread, I was like, actually, maybe it's not. Which is why I'm a bit more positive on my outlook for it, I think, because my expectations were in check, unlike most people. I knew that what we were going to get wasn't going to be the new best thing since Knights, so I actually kind of enjoyed it for what it was as a result, a little bit more. Please stay here for long enough. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, every single button on the controller's jump. And, you know, whatever the ability of the second is. Oh man, I forgot about that. Even the triggers jump. Oh. That one button gameplay he loves so much. Coming back to bite him a little bit. Perfect Dark Guy, how does that mouth work? I don't want to see a representation. We've had enough talk of DeviantArt this stream. I don't want to hear any more of it, you know. Right. Is that the last one over there? I think that's the last one. I've just got to hang around here long enough. As long as he doesn't throw boulders at me, which he looks like he's going to try to. Ah! You jerk! Oh no, he's gone! No! Dave, it was earth-shattering, mind-blowing. It was easily one of my top 10 experiences in life. It's up there with Birth. Although I don't remember that, so I can't comment on that. But the gift of life, it's not as good as Jungle Joyride in 60 FPS. I'm gonna keep it real. Oh man, I forgot about Box Fox until you just mentioned it. It's a power-up that turns you into a box, but you are a fox. Incredible. Amazing gameplay. Maybe I'll actually beat this sometime in the next 10 years. I've never had this much trouble with Perfect Dark Gaia. Maybe I just don't want the stream to end. Who knows? But yeah, all my comparisons went well. We confirmed that the Series X and Series S are identical for this game. No differences that I can tell whatsoever, so perfect for people who want to get the console just for Sonic Unleashed or all the other backwards compatible games. Oh, that one's already gone away, has it? I get the feeling this one's gonna do much the same in just a second. Yes I am, Chip. Let's keep it up. If you can. Oh, I should have paralooped. If only my my knight skills came into use. Ow! Come on, man. That was just tough. That was also just tough. Come on. Is that the only one left? Oh no, there's two. Right, I'll hang around here for a bit as long as he doesn't try and snipe me again. Oh, come on! That should not have hit me. Yes, I did! Just stop running into shit! Oh, come on, there's one more. Don't do this to me again, game. Oh, it's an old friend. Wow. Yes! We did it! Okay, Dave, fine. It's not identical on both consoles. Is that what you wanted to hear? No money spent. Alright, here we go. It's time, people. The Hand Destroyer. Oh god, I nearly missed that. Here we go. What? What happened? Did I accidentally hit Y while I was mashing? Do I have to do this again? Great. Good stuff. Well done, me. I must have just like hit Y or something on accident, and it went, nope. Nice try. Alright, let's try this again with a little less fail this time. Oh my goodness! My hand is going to fall off. There we go. Intense gameplay. I mashed one-handed. I didn't use the second one, so because I was scared I was going to hit the I was scared I was going to hit the Y button again if I did it two-handed, so I only did it one-handed. Oh, well, I tried. Anyways, that will do it for today's stream, won't it? Thank you ever so much to everyone who's been tuning in to today's stream. Today's VIPER Foundry. We have discovered that the Xbox Series S and X versions are near enough identical. So, if you're looking to get either console, and you're looking to get it on a budget, then why not go ahead and get a Series S if you're just looking for Sonic Unleashed, or any other backwards compatibility games for that matter. But if you're looking for anything else, if you're looking to play a bunch of other games, then maybe the Series X will be for you, especially if you've got your discs. But either way, you're going to get a great Sonic Unleashed experience that is, as we've proven, miles better than the Xbox 360 version. Never got the Generations glitch. Well, Callum, wouldn't it be funny to mention that? Because this isn't the end of VIPER Foundry. Because at some point, I don't know when, but hopefully the next stream will be VIPER Foundry Sonic Generations. Same deal. Does it run identically across all machines? Of course, unlike Sonic Unleashed, we've got 4K to throw into the occasion. Does the Series S handle 4K? Can it keep 60 FPS if it can do 4K? How badly does the Xbox 360 version run in 2021? We'll find all these things out on the next episode of VIPER Foundry. But for now, that's been it from me. Thank you all for watching. Get yourself a Series S or X if you're tempted by that 60 FPS Unleashed gameplay. You will not regret it. You might, but I'm not liable if you do regret it. Anyway, thanks all, have a good one, and catch you all later.